So I'd like to talk about another electrophysiological technique called ERP, which stands for Event-Related Potential. Now the potential is the electrode recording. So ERP is going to start with the recording of an EEG. But this recording, this particular electrode recording, you're going to relate, right, to a specific stimulus event. So let me give you an example of an ERP. So first of all, you got to attach the electrodes to the scalp like you would with EEG. And then you're going to present some kind of a stimulus. So let's say you present a tone, right? You go, right? And then you record the electrical activity from an electrode, time locked to the presentation of that stimulus, right? So the deal is when you do that sound to somebody, right, and they got the electrodes attached, and you go, right, there's going to be some kind of neuronal response to that sound. But at the same time, they might be, I don't know, thinking about like, do I get paid for this study? Do I get extra credit for this study? Why am I here? All these other things that their brain is doing, which is going to be influencing the recording at the electrode. So what they do is they present that tone again, and they do it again, and they do it like 100 times, and they record the electrical activity from these electrodes, time locked to the presentation of that event, right, of that same sound. And then they average out all of those recordings, all of those EEG recordings, right? And they're left with a particular waveform, a very consistent waveform. So here's from the presentation of the stimulus, right? Stimulus onset, right here. And then you'll see a pattern of, changes in the recording that are specifically related to the delivery of that specific event. So ERP allows you to see, the neuronal response, right? The electrical response of neurons to the presentation of a specific or particular event. And you can do all sorts of interesting things. For example, if you did like that same sound, but then all of a sudden you went like that, you would see actually the presentation on those trials of a new waveform out here that has a more sort of frontal kind of focus, which involves, your part of your response to the novelty of a different stimulus.